So I request all of you, please text your roll numbers meanwhile. All of you, please text your roll numbers. So is the screen visible to all of you? So yesterday we were discussing about different types of selectors, inline select, uh, element selector, group selector, ID selector, class selector, and universal selectors, right? And as I mentioned you, or as I told you yesterday, we are going to see today creating divisions. Okay, so the topic today is divisions in CSS. But in order to create these divisions in your HTML web page or a document, we need to use a tag called div tag, right? So there is a tag called div tag which you are going to use in order to create divisions. So this division div tag is going to create your entire web page into multiple partitions, as many partitions as you want. But it is not like frames. The difference between frame and divisions is frame will allow you to display multiple web pages. So if you, for example, if you create 3 frames in your web page, in each of those frame you can display different HTML pages, right? So in our example that we have seen, we have displayed 3 different HTML web pages in a single browser window, right? But that will not be possible with the division tag, div tag. But what is the purpose of division tag is you can create partitions in a single web page, and you can place different content and different positions on your web page. Say if you look at a typical web application, so still some people are joining. So if you look at any normal web application, you must have already seen. Generally, that web application will have at the top a heading of that application. Say, for example, if I open a Facebook page, for example, let me open a Facebook page here. Say, if I open this Facebook page, so you're able to see on the left side Facebook, and a caption there. Facebook helps you connect and share with people in your life. You're able to see this one, and here you're able to see this particular region where you have some text fields or password fields to enter your phone number or email address and password, and then log into your Facebook account if you are an already existing user. And if you don't have an account already in Facebook, then you can click on this create new account, and then another pop-up will come here, a small window will appear, and in that window you can register yourself newly with your mobile number or email ID and create a password, enter your personal information like date of birth, gender, your name, your location, which country you belongs to. All these things you can enter and sign up here. So once you complete the sign up process, then you can log in here. So you're able to see different portions, different regions. So you're able to see this particular part of this login part, which is displayed uniquely. So it will stand different from the entire web page, right? So in that way, if you want to create divisions, this can be considered as one division here. This part where you have this email or phone number field and password field and login button, forgot an account, to create new account, all these things together, they are put inside one panel. So this part you can create like this by using a tag called div tag and creating some style for that division, so that will have a different background color, and all the content that you put in between this div tag will be confined only to this one. So you can consider this as a div, a division, and this division will occupy a fixed amount of width and height on your web page on a particular location. So where is it located? It is located on the right side. It is leaving some space from the top border till here in between this one, and also between the top, bottom border and this division you have some space left over. On the right side also some space is left over, and on the left also, from the left border also, you can see some more space left over, right? So with this width and height, it is laid at this particular position, and in between this division open tag and close tag, whatever other HTML tags that you create, they'll be confined only to this region. They'll not go beyond this region. They'll not go outside this division. So they'll be displayed only within that division. So generally, if you don't use this division tag, what will happen is uh, all the text boxes or paragraphs or whatever it is you create on your web page, they'll be starting from the top left corner, and if the space is not sufficient, they'll occupy from the left top corner till the top right corner. And if the space is not sufficient, then they go to the next line in your page. In that way, this they're going to be displayed. But using this division, what we can do is we can make the layout of your web page more attractive, and you can confine some content only to that particular region. And once you log into this application, you will be able to see at the top you'll have that Facebook logo and search bar to search any friends, your known friends to you. And on the right top corner, you'll see your name, your file name, and including that, if you click on that small down arrow, you will be able to see several options to change your settings or sign out of your account. All the notifications, friend requests, everything will be displayed at the top, right? So you can lay a specific content at a specific position by using these divisions. Fine. uh, so now let us start using this div tag in our pages. So I'll create a template first, HTML template. I'll save this file as div.html, save it in wd folder in CSS. Now I'm going to create head section, and the title I'm going to give here. So I'll give the title as CSS Divisions. I'm going to open the body tag. If you are using frames, we don't use body tag, right? Instead of body tag, we'll use a frame set tag. But for divisions, no, we must use body tag. Now You can create as many divisions as you want here. So open the div tag and close the div tag. And that way you can create as many divisions as you want. Okay. Okay, now I'm creating 4 divisions here. So in between this division tag, you can display anything. So I'll use a h1 tag or h2 tag. Say I'll use h3 tag. So this is first division. I'll display this message in all the divisions, mentioning their division numbers. So this is division. So this is how I'm going to use divisions. But I'm not using any CSS here, right? Cascading style sheets. So when you don't use CSS, how these divisions will be laid means starting from the top left corner. Starting from the top left corner, these divisions will be laid. So let me run this and show you the output, then you'll understand. See, so how they are laid, this is first division, this is second division, this is third division, this is fourth division. Right? So say now here after the heading, H3 heading in this first division, I'm going to write a paragraph tag. Within the paragraph, uh, I'll mention about something divisions. So this is a message I'm typing here under this paragraph. So let me show you output. So this is the first division. This is a H3 type heading displayed, and under that a paragraph is displayed. The content is displayed like this, right? So now uh, I can put this same content in all the different divisions. So the same message will be displayed under all divisions. Fine. So now you are unable to notice where the division is starting and where it is ending, right? So in order to know how these divisions are laid, so let us add uh, in the head section, let us add the CSS so that you'll notice the difference. So here I'm going to create a style tag. So what type of styling is this one? This is internal styling, right? You're creating a style using a style tag in the head section. This is called as internal styling. So now that you know, yesterday we have seen different types of selectors. So I'm going to create ID selectors for all these 4 division tags. So for the first division, I'm going to give ID is equal to 1. And for the second division, I'm going to give ID is equal to 2. And for the third division, I'm going to give ID is equal to 3. And fourth one, I'm going to give it as 4. Right? So now that you have given ID attributes for all the division tags, we need to create those ID selectors in the style in the head section. First, let me how to you create an ID selector. The selector name must precede with hash symbol. The selector name is 1. Okay. So I'm going to create some background color. Color. Both this I'm going to create. I'm leaving them blank first because I'll create the template, same template for other ID selectors also. Copy pasting them, remove time. Now I'll change the ID names as 4. This is 3. This is 2. So these are the ID name attribute values we have given, right? 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Right? So exactly matching with their names, I have created this one. So for the first division, that is division 1, say I'm giving a background color as teal and text color as white. Right? And for division 2, say I'm giving um, gray color and background color text color I'm going to leave it blank. By default it will take black color. For this division for ID 3, for division 3 I'm going to give AC green and text color as white color. And for this one division 4, I'm going to give say midnight blue color and text color as white. Now let us see how the divisions are laid. So now look at the divisions. This is the first division, right? So till here it is the first division. So the first division is stretching from the top left corner till the top right corner. That it is it is spreading it, or it is spanning from the left border till the right border. It is completely occupying the 100% width of the web page. But look at the height. Height will keep on changing dynamically. As and when you add content to the division, the height of the division gets expanded. Now initially if I don't write this paragraph, the height of the division will be further less. So let me remove one paragraph from the first division and show it to you. So I'm going to remove this paragraph from here. There is only one heading there. Now I'll refresh this page. So now you see the height of the first division is limited only to that heading, right? So this will be dynamically changing. The division height will be dynamically changing as and when you add content into that division. In between the div tags, opening and closing div tags, how many other HTML tags you use and how large content you display, depending upon the size of that content, the height of the division will be keep changing, right? So now because only there is a heading, the height will be is just a little 15 to 20 pixels or so like that. Now if I add the paragraph, so by default a paragraph tag will leave some space above it and below it. So and the content also will occupy some space, right? So now after the heading there is a gap left over between the paragraph and the heading, and then the paragraph is occupying one line, so that much space is left. So now you can see the change in the height of the division, right? But the width of the division remains constant. It will occupy from the top left, from the left border till the right border, the complete 100% width. But if you want to change this width and height properties, you can change them also. So how to do that is by using some CSS properties. Fine. So now, say I want to divide this entire page into three divisions, like we did it with the frames. The top division, left division, and the right division, like that. If you want, you can change it. And also, you can use a background image also for these divisions. And whatever content you write, say in between this division open tag and the close tag, how much content you write, so that content will be confined to the division only. And if you give a fixed width and height for the division, the division will occupy a fixed amount of space. It is not going to change its height dynamically. So here in this case, if you don't specify dynamically, the height and width will be changing. But if you specify a fixed width and height, the height and width of the division will remain constant. They will not change. Only the content will not be displayed under that division if you are going beyond that limit size, width and height of the division. So in that way you can divide that division. So let me show you how to create the divisions by using CSS. Let me remove one division, the division 4, or let us have the fourth division also. Say it is going to be a footer section. Fine. So how to use that now? Let me use the properties and show to you. Say for example, I want my uh, first division to occupy, say, a height of some 10% of the total height of the web page, and complete 100% height of the 100% width of the page, like this. Okay. Then how much space I have to leave on the from the top border, and how much space I have to leave from the left border, and how much space I have to leave from the right border. So if I specify that, automatically this division will span, leaving that much amount of space on the left border, from the left border or from the right border, from the top border. If you don't specify all the four borders, if you can specify either top or left, top or right, or left or bottom, or right or bottom, you can if you specify two adjacent sides uh, gap that you're going to leave, the remaining things can be obtained by using the width and height properties. So now let me show you, for example, here we need to use property called position property, and for this we need to give a value called absolute. Position must be absolute, and there are four properties called top, uh, left, right, and bottom. You need not use all these four properties. If you use any two adjacent sides, means the top border, what are the adjacent sides, left border and right border. So you can take any one of the left or right border for along with top border, and use either top left, or use top right, or use bottom and left, or bottom and right. Only these two are sufficient. So remaining two are not necessary if you give width and height properties. So along with this, we will also have another properties called width property and height property. Now, if I specify 0% as a value of top, and 0% as a value of left. So what is the meaning of this is, this division will be laid leaving 0% of space from the top border. So 0% of space from the top border means no space is left, right? Without leaving any space between the top border and this division, we are going to lay the division just along the top border. Similarly, if I mention left also, its value as 0%, it means that this division is going to uh, occupy the space starting from the along the left border of your screen. So your division will be laid along the left border and the top border without leaving any space in between top border and the left border, right? Then how much space it is going to occupy horizontally and vertically, you can mention by using width. Now here if I mention width as say 50% like this, and height also as 50%, yes. So end it with a semicolon. And what is going to happen to this division? This division will be laid leaving 0% of space between from the top border. That means it is not going to leave any space from the top. It is going to be laid along the top border. Similarly, how much space you are leaving from the left border means 0% of space. That means you are not leaving any space along the left border. So you are going to lay this division directly along the left division. Then how much space you are leaving on the right border and bottom border means instead of mentioning that right and bottom borders, you can mention the width and height property values. So starting from top border, along the top border, if the height is 50%, so it is going to occupy 50% of space starting from the top border here. What is the total space here? 100. So out of this 100, 50% means, say for example, till here, this is exactly half. So this will span from top border till the exactly middle of the page, the complete height of the web page. Similarly, left border you are not leaving any space from occupying from along the left border. If you mention 50% width, then it will occupy exactly till the center of this page vertically like this. So your division will be laid from this top left corner, occupying exactly 50% of width and 50% of height, the top left corner. Okay, so let me show you the output by refreshing it. Now you can see this division, right? So it is exactly occupying starting without leaving any space from the top border. It is adjacent to that border, and similarly it is adjacent to the left border also, because I have given left 0% and top also I have given 0%, right? Now because for the other divisions you didn't mention the position and width and height properties, for as of now they will be displayed by default layout. So let me remove those id attribute values so that these will not be displayed. Okay, fine. So now uh, if I want to lay the second division uh, occupying along the top border, occupying the remaining 50% of width, and along the right border occupying the 50% of height adjacent to this first division, then how I can do is for the second division, that is for division 2, so I'm going to use the same attributes, position, height, all these attributes I'm going to use. But look at top, I need to leave 0%, but left, instead of using left, I'm going to use right, because this is going to be laid along the right border, leaving 0% of space along the right border, and width is 50% and height is 50%. So now for division 2, if I give the id attribute value 2 like this, then the second division will be created just adjacent to the first division like this, right? And you can see the content exactly being displayed within that second division. So this is first division and this is second division. So in the same way, you can do it for even third division. So third division, I want to lay it exactly in the second row here from left border without leaving any space from the left border, and occupying 50% of width and 50% of height without leaving any space at the bottom. Right? So for this, what you can do is, let me give the names for third and fourth divisions also. Third and this is fourth. Fine. So for division 3, what I need to do is, let me copy paste this properties. Position is always absolute. So here division 3, so this how much space it is leaving from the top border, 50%. So you can give top value as 50%. And how much space it is going to leave along the left border, 0%. And how much width it is going to occupy, 50%. Height also 50%. So now if you refresh this page, height 50%, width 50%, left 0%, and top 50%. Background color is sea green. So this is not third, this is 3. Now you can see the third division laid at the bottom left corner. Now this is left over. For this we didn't give any background, we didn't create the division layout. So that's why this is not displayed here. Now if I use for fourth division also this, because this is along the right border, instead of giving left I'm going to give right. Width is 50% and height is 50%. Top I must leave 50%. Look at the fourth division. So this division is created here. This is fourth division, right? Fine. Now you are able to see 4 different divisions displayed in 4 different background colors and 4 text colors. So for the first division, third and fourth division, the text color is white color. For second division, the text color is in black color. So if you don't mention the text color by default, the text color will be in black color, right? So now you understood how to create divisions, right? So for this fourth division, instead of using top as 50%, you can also use bottom, which this will specify the bottom border. But from the bottom border, how much space you are leaving for the third and fourth division you are leaving 0%. So instead of giving 50%, you can give 0% on the bottom. If it is from top border, it must be 50% from the bottom, right? So this will not make any change. So either you can use bottom or top, either you can use left or right. So here also you can use, instead of top, you can mention bottom, third division, and it must be 0. This will not make any change. In that way, you can use top, left, right, bottom properties for any division tag like this, so that you can lay the division. So my divisions, how much space they are occupying, my entire web page is divided into 4 equal partitions, each partition occupying exactly half of width and half of height. Fine. And you can notice the content, the paragraphs are exactly colliding with the borders without any margin. If you want to give a margin, you can mention that margins with a property called margin property. Margin property you can give, and you can mention in terms of pixels, percentage like this. So if I mention margin 5 pixel, now you can see the margin on the left side, and at the top also you are able to see. So if I give 5 5px 5px, not make any difference. Give 2, right? So I'll give the same margin for all the 4 divisions. You're able to see margins left over on all the borders, right? So you'll see the margins given only on the left borders, and top borders, whichever borders the web page borders that division is going to have, that division borders, that borders will be displayed. But if you look at this first division, you have margin left on the top border and on the left border, but there is no margin left on the right border and bottom border, because the right border will not be considered as the border of the web page, right? Instead of that, if you want to give same divisions on different margins on different sides of the division, then you can use other properties like there are individual properties like margin hyphen left, margin, four different types of margin: margin left, margin right, margin top, margin bottom. That way you can use any of these four different margins, but instead of using four different margin properties, if you want to use a single, then you can mention this margin 5 only with this margin property like this, right? So let us not use these margins. And apart from these margins, you also have something called padding. So if I give padding, say 5 pixel, give this margin 5 pixels padding for all the four divisions. So what is the difference you are observing here is the division border. This is the division border. I'm not saying the page border. Where is the division starting from? This particular place, right? By leaving 5 pixel of space between the screen border and this division border, right? But from the division border, the content that is displayed within the division, this is having some space left over, right? Earlier, this content is exactly displaying along the border, but now the content has been changed. So this padding can be given uh, in terms of pixels like this. Then this will display like this. And you notice the paragraph confined to the division. So some space, some TO is missing here. So this will happen because when you don't use proper margins and paddings, this will happen. And never display large paragraphs in divisions. When you are displaying some paragraph content and all, you should not use divisions, because paragraphs will span in larger in size. Sometimes the paragraphs may be smaller, so they will be confined to simple one few word sentences. Then it may fit to the small division that you create. But if your paragraph is larger, if it is spanning across the web page, then it is not suggested to use divisions in that case. If you even if you use the division, see that the division will span the entire width of the screen so that the paragraph will be displayed completely. Don't confine your division size to a limited thing. You without using this width, height, and top left properties, you span the page as much as you want, right? So this is how you create divisions. Fine. You can lay it in different ways. You can lay it as a top division, left division, right division, and center division. Like that, you can create as many divisions as you want. And if you want to use a background image for this divisions, you can also do that by using a property called background hyphen image, right? And after the background image property name, after the colon symbol, you have to use something called URL as a value of this one, and use parenthesis after URL. And within the parenthesis, within double quotes, you give the URL for your image that you want to display as a background image. Instead of having a background color, you can also have a background image. So let me use one image from here. Say for example, I want to use this. I'll copy this image, put it in our folder. Where is our folder? CSS folder, here, right? So I'll paste it here. So what is the name of the image? Images2. The extension of the file is JPG. So you just use images.jpg. I think it is images2.jpg. So let me refresh the page. Background image URL is not being displayed. Let me put this in comment. Yes. Hello, Praveen. ఓకే. ఓకే. నేను క్లాస్‌లో ఉన్నాను. క్లాస్ 10 మినిట్స్‌లో అయిపోద్ది. అయిన తర్వాత చేస్తా. ఓకే. Say, look at observe anyone anywhere if I'm missing any comma, semicolon. Even if you make a small mistake also, output will not be appearing properly. I copy paste this exactly, but will not find any mistake. Just one. Okay, okay. Somewhere something is missing. URL. What happened to that URL? Yeah, both the images are available. Images 1 or images 2, both are available in that folder, right? We pasted both images 1 and images 2 also is there. Both are there. And the file name extension is JPG. We can use anything. Even if I use this one also, you are not getting. And this here it is working. In this page it is working. So if you make this position as fixed, so even though when you scroll your web page, the background image will not change its position. It will not scroll. It will stay fixed. If you use background repeat property, if the image size is less than the size of the division or the body of your web page, then the image will repeatedly display on the screen. So if you don't want that repetition, you can use no repeat value as a property value of background repeat property, and background attachment property. If you use fixed, it will be fixed, and background position. If you use center, it will be positioned at the center of your screen. If you use cover, then this is going to cover the entire space available in that division or tag, whatever tag you use. If you use it for apply it for body tag of your HTML document, then that image will be covering the entire web page. If you use it for a particular division, then this background image will be covering only that division, and there will not be any repetitions. If you use repetition, if you get repetitions, what will happen is, let me show it. That example here, it is working in this page, but in our program that we created now, it is not working. Let me go to that background image program here. So if I remove this, for example, say fixed here, so let me refresh this page. So look at the image, it is repeating. The properties, the background image is scrolling along with the page. So this scrolling will happen only when the content you displayed in the page is larger than the height of the web page. Then scrolling will happen. Otherwise, there will not be any scroll bar here on the right side. You're able to see the scroll bar on the right side of your screen, right? So that will appear only if the content you displayed in the web page is more than the height of the screen. Similarly, the scroll bar will appear on the horizontal at the bottom also if the content is going beyond the width of your screen. Normally that will not happen, only it will happen for vertical height. This is going to change, this is going to scroll, the image is also going to scroll along with the page. But if we use proper fixed here, then it will not, it will remain at the center, right? So now if I don't use this no repeat as value for background repeat, look at the page. It is how many times this is repeating the image, as much and as many times there is space available for it to fit. So that many times this image is repeating. If you don't want this repeat, then you have to use background repeat property value as no repeat. And instead of center, if you are using cover, then how much space it can cover, it will cover that much space, it will not repeat. Depending on the resolution of your screen, it will cover that much position. Okay. I don't know why these are not working in our program div. So this program I have created for your seniors. I was teaching this subject for your seniors as well. So when I taught the subject for them, I did this program in their class. Now when I'm doing this again, I'm not getting it. Instead of using this background image for body tag, what we are doing here in our program is we are using it for the division tags. So That also I've done earlier with another program. So I've created a template, able to find the place where it is located. I think in previous desktop in WP, this is also same. So you look at this program. This is also another background image. You are able to see the background image used for different divisions. Let me open this program. See, so for center division, we have used right division, and for this is B left. So there is a ID CSS ID selector created called B left, then B center, then B right. So in our output, this division is B left, where you have student form submission, and this is print admission form. This is B center division. This is admin panel B right division. So for all these three divisions, I use the same background image. See the background image URL images2.jpg. Background repeat, no repeat. Background size cover, and no border property is used. The same is used for all the remaining two divisions also. Right. So you're getting this one. And let me show that images also, images2.jpg, the same image. So you'll find that images2.jpg. So this is images2.jpg. So this is the image. This image is used as background color, background image. So if you want to change also, let me change it and show it to you. Instead of images 2, say I'm giving images 1. So what is images 1? So this is image, this one. Let us not use this one now. Use something else. Or you'll not notice the difference. Let me use this one. This image name is images-4.jpg. Okay. For the center right division, the background color, background image has changed. Right. Do not judge. This is images13.jpg. Let me use this images13.jpg for center division. So you see the background image has changed. So this is images 12. So let me use it for B left. Right. So why it is not working in our program, that I don't understand. Use it for Gen 1. Nothing is okay. I'll work out for this in the next class. So, but you try to practice some programs on your own, try it on your system. I've already shared the YouTube video, so we'll meet in the next class. Please text your roll numbers if you have not texted. If you have texted already, you can leave the class.